Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone. Welcome to another round of cultural meltdowns. From fake outrage to identity gymnastics, the patterns never change. This is about times men didn't hold back from woke people. Those moments where someone finally says out loud what everyone else is thinking. Not polite, not sugar-coated, just plain truth cutting through the noise. First up, a kid rocking a Soviet flag cape tried to lecture Michael Knowles about hate crimes. Because nothing screams credibility like cosplaying the world's biggest failure.
I like your cape.
Thank you. It's a flag.
What's the flag?
Soviet flag.
Oh my gosh. I take it back.
You claimed that the reason that there are more transgender people now is because they are more confused. The hate crimes against transgender people are much higher than those against any other demographic. So is it not more likely that there are more transgender people now because...
Are there more hate crimes in the United States against transgender people or Jews?
I'd guess transgender, but I am not sure.
You are certainly not sure. That's right. It's the answer is Jews.
That just be a numbers thing, though. Like if you're like,
it is a numbers thing, but you cited a numbers thing, so then I'm citing a different numbers thing.
0.1% of people in America are transgenders, and yeah, like 100% of them could be like affected by crime.
Is it not though more likely that people are identifying as transgender now because of a decrease in the percentage of hate crimes as opposed to previous decades?
The identification is part of the confusion because a man isn't a woman and a woman isn't a man. There is sexual difference. They're not indistinguishable, they're not indiscernible, and there's a great confusion in our culture that men can be women, but they can't.
He confidently claimed trans people face the most hate, only to get smacked down with a reality check about Jews. Watching woke math collapse in real time, priceless. Next up, a masked crusader tried to cancel a reporter by screaming bigot before running out of arguments faster than their patience.
You're just a bigot? You can go.
Oh, what makes me a bigot, ma'am? Or sir? I'm not sure. I didn't misgender you, did I?
Oh, please yourself.
Oh, that's not very ladylike.
Oh, now you're misgendering me. Ladylike.
Oh, well, what are you exactly?
None of your business. What are you?
But you said I misgendered you. If I don't know what you are, how can I not misgender you?
1 second it's you misgendered me, the next it's none of your business. Classic woke logic, demand respect while refusing to explain what you even are. The silence at the end says it all. Here's a student trying the tired America was never great routine, only to get clapped back with facts.
I want you to tell me exactly the point in history where America was great.
Point to me a time in history where America wasn't great. Tell me where it started.
Birth of America? This
where
country
America
was
wasn't
built
great.
on murder and thievery and deception.
America started at a certain point and grew and came better over time. No country that you know of was 100% perfect at the foundation. No country. Ever since you've been alive, America has been the greatest it's ever been.
You think so?
100%, brother. Name somewhere else that's better than America. And why don't you live there?
I'm not sure.
I know you're not sure because they don't exist.
He demanded proof of greatness, then couldn't even explain when it supposedly wasn't. Classic woke education. Whine about the country while enjoying every freedom it gave you. If America's so awful, the airport has open seats. Funny how no one actually takes that flight. This time a traveler trying to make misgendering the biggest crisis at the airport. Like Delta should ground flights until their pronouns are respected.
And what about when a Delta employee misgenders you intentionally?
While he's talking, you're talking.
You just misgendered me again.
Okay.
Multiple times.
Gotcha.
Both of you have.
Sorry. Wasn't intentional, but if you want to take it personal, that's also.
Well, she did do it intentionally twice.
You're talking to me too.
You said she and then you said he.
You're being condescending, and if you want to continue, I have Port Authority escort you out the building right this moment if you want to play that game with me.
Okay.
Would you like to continue 3 days before Christmas? I really don't mind.
I'm good. I'll just put this on.
The employee wasn't having it. Instead of groveling, he called out the attitude and threatened to boot them before Christmas. Imagine crying over pronouns while holding up a boarding gate. Sorry, but TSA doesn't screen for your feelings. Now Rachel drops the classic 77 cents line like it's a mic drop, but the guest doesn't flinch.
Women in this country still make 77 cents on the dollar for what men make. So if women don't make less than men?
Actually, if you start looking at the numbers, Rachel, there are lots of reasons for that.
Wait.
Well,
don't tell
first
me
of all,
the reasons are. Do women make less than men for doing
actually,
the same work?
No, because...
Wow.
Well, for example, men work an average of 44 hours a week. Women work 41 hours a week. Men go into professions like engineering, science, and math that earn more. Women want more flexible
Listen, this is not a math is hard
No. Yes, it is, actually.
Right now, women are making 77 cents cents on the dollar for what men are making. So
but that's not true. If so, every greedy businessman in America would hire only women, save 25%, and be hugely profitable. And I love how passionate you are. I wish you were as right about what you're saying as you are passionate about it. I really do.
He pulls out actual numbers and shreds her soundbite on the spot. Hours worked, career choices, flexibility facts she clearly didn't want on the table, and the cherry on top. If women were really 25% cheaper, every company in America would be staffed wall to wall with them. Here comes the classic, "This country is nothing without immigration" speech. Like that line alone shuts down debate.
Would you admit that this country would be nothing without our rich history of immigration?
Well, I tell you what. And this is what's gone wrong. You talk about immigration, and it ran from after the war up until the millennium at net 30 to 40,000 a year. And yes, it worked. In fact, we had the most successful immigration policies of any country in the whole of Europe. Now, it is so totally out of control. Just think about this. 2.5 million people have come in the last 2 years. You wonder why you can't get a house. You wonder why your rents have gone up 25% in 4 years. You wonder why our infrastructure is struggling. You wonder why we have to build a new house every 2 minutes just to cope with the numbers. And that's the issue. It's now running at numbers that are literally unimaginable and are diminishing the quality of life of everybody in this country.
Farage calmly torches it with numbers that actually matter. Housing, rent, infrastructure, real life issues the woke crowd pretends don't exist. Funny how applause dries up when the facts start stacking higher than the slogans. Turns out feelings don't build homes every 2 minutes. This guy thought he had the ultimate gotcha with the name 2 black Republican senators trick.
Name 2 black Republican senators.
Well, there is one that I know of, Tim Scott.
Yeah, can you name a second one?
I'm not sure there is a second.
But there's not. No, there's not.
Yeah, so it's a trick question.
Yeah.
How about this? Can you name me the only black Supreme Court justice? How can there's 2 of them?
No, other than Byron Donalds, can you name another black Republican congressperson?
Yeah, Wesley Hunt.
Matters.
How have the Democrats done overseeing the black community the last 40 years? Are they wealthier, richer, happier?
Everybody has made mistakes, bro.
No, answer the question.
I'm answering. I just answered the question. There have been successes and there have been failures.
What success?
I would love it if you could.
Kirk doesn't just dodge it, he flips it. Supreme Court justices, black conservatives in Congress, receipts ready to go. Then he drops the real question the woke crowd never once asked. What exactly have Democrats done for the black community in 40 years? Spoiler, the silence said it all. Now, imagine crying about pronouns in the barracks when the secretary just banned beardos and yoga stretch workouts in one speech.
Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test. And as the chairman said, yes, there is no PT test. But today, at my direction, every member of the Joint Force at every rank is required to take a PT test twice a year, as well as meet height and weight requirements twice a year, every year of service. Also today, at my direction, every warrior across our Joint Force is required to do PT every duty day. It should be common sense. I mean, most units do that already, but we're codifying it. And we're not talking like hot yoga and stretching. Real hard PT, either as a unit or as an individual. At every level, from the Joint Chiefs to everyone in this room to the youngest private, leaders set the standard. And so many of you do this already. Active, Guard, and Reserve. This also means grooming standards. No more beards, long hair, superficial individual expression. We're going to cut our hair, shave our beards, and adhere to standards. Because it's like the broken windows theory of policing. It's like when you let the small stuff go, the big stuff eventually goes. So you have to address the small stuff. This is on duty, in the field, and in the rear. If you want a beard, you can join Special Forces. If not, then shave. We don't have a military full of Nordic pagans. But unfortunately, we have had leaders who either refuse to call BS and enforce standards, or leaders who felt like they were not allowed to enforce standards. Both are unacceptable. And that's why today, at my direction, the era of unprofessional appearance is over. No more beardos. The era of rampant and ridiculous shaving profiles is done. Simply put, if you do not meet the male-level physical standards for combat positions, cannot pass a PT test, or don't want to shave and look professional, it's time for a new position or a new profession.
He's done watching the military turn into a diversity retreat. Standards are back, feelings aren't. If you can't pass a PT test, can't meet height and weight, or need your beard for self-expression, then congratulations, you just enlisted in unemployment. Here's an example of Candace Owens slicing straight through the fake victim routine.
And here's what I want to say. What you're seeing happening today, obviously we have some black people that are just shouting in the back. We have some black people that are sitting in the front quietly that are chanting USA and having a normal conversation. I love that, because what I say every single time, and you may have seen me on the news, is that what is happening right now in the black community, you're going to hear it in this room first. There's an ideological civil war happening. Black people that are focused on their past and shouting about slavery, and black people that are focused on their futures, okay? That's really what it comes down to, okay? I can guarantee you what you're seeing happening is victim mentality versus victor mentality. And
That's
I promise
great, by
you,
the way.
the
I love
people
that.
here are
Isn't
going
that
to
great?
win.
I love that.
And there's no doubt in my mind. I can tell you right now who is going to be better off when we look 20 years, when we look at the faces in this room. Who is going to be better off are the girls that are sitting right here and across this room, because they don't have your mentality. Victim mentality is not cool. I don't know why people like being oppressed. It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I love oppression. We're oppressed. 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow, which, by the way, none of you guys lived through. Your grandparents didn't. It's embarrassing that you utilize their history. You utilize their history, and you come in here with more emotion than they ever had when they were living through it. More emotion than they ever had when they were living through it. It's embarrassing. You're not living through anything right now. You're overly privileged Americans. It's what's going on.
You teach them, girl, yeah.
While the back row screams about slavery like it just happened last week, she reminds them none of them lived through it. The real embarrassment? Pretending oppression is trendy while enjoying more privilege than most people on Earth. That's not justice, that's cosplay. Now we've got the gender crowd completely folding when asked for a straight answer.
How many genders are there?
There's so many.
So many. So many's not a number. Can you give me a number or not?
You have 2. That's 6th grade science.
So what you learn in 6th grade becomes less true as you get older? Like gravity becomes less true? Give me a number of how many genders there are.
Hundreds, many.
Unlimited, right? It's anything you want to be, anything you feel.
No, it's what scientists determine. I think what happens is you don't understand science and science.
Oh, I don't.
Backing, and you just want to put forth this
just simple, here we go. So what is just about saying there's 2 genders?
You're just being completely not faithful to what actual science is telling you.
No, science is quite simple. That
there's an oppressive narrative about how you think
So now I'm
genders
oppressive. The truth comes out eventually. So how am I being oppressive?
You're being oppressive by denying people the ability to have.
How have I denied anyone anything? Okay, denying people identity. People can identify however they want. I'm only going to use 2 genders.
She says so many, then somehow upgrades it to maybe unlimited. That's not science, that's a guessing game. And when logic shuts her down, the panic button gets hit. Fascist, oppressive, buzzwords on repeat. Meanwhile, Charlie keeps it simple. 2 genders. End of story. Up next is what happens when common sense collides with quota talk.
For too long, we've promoted too many uniformed leaders for the wrong reasons. Based on their race, based on gender quotas, based on historic so-called firsts. We became the woke department, but not anymore. An entire generation of generals and admirals were told that they must parrot the insane fallacy that, quote, our diversity is our strength. Of course, we know our unity is our strength.
Promotions based on skin color and quotas instead of skill. That's not leadership, that's participation trophies in uniform. And when he dropped the line about diversity is our strength being a fallacy, the room froze. Because deep down, everyone knows unity wins wars, not rainbow checklists. You have to love when woke language gymnastics completely collapse.
Do you know what the leading cause of death for pregnant people is?
Pregnant people? Mothers? Women?
If you'd like to call them mothers, not all of them are mothers, but if you'd like to call them that.
What are they if they're not mothers?
They're pregnant people.
What people other than mothers are pregnant?
Does it bother you to use inclusive language?
I prefer to use precise language.
It's interesting because you come into this conversation, trying to hold this moral superiority, but
no, I try to be moral when I can, but I...
Right, but when I use inclusive language, which it only takes a couple extra syllables to use inclusive language.
To include
and
who?
It seems to include people who don't, identify as women but can become pregnant.
She kept repeating pregnant people like it was some profound insight, but every time he asked who besides mothers can be pregnant, the silence said it all. That's the thing with woke buzzwords. They sound important until someone uses plain logic, and suddenly the whole argument looks as ridiculous as it actually is. And this is what happens when woke logic gets taken for a test drive.
And if I call you a moose, are you suddenly a moose? Okay, if I redefine our terms. No, yes, that's right. Men and women are a completely different thing. This is true. Have you ever met a man or a woman? They're completely different.
It's a completely different thing. You can say you're a cat. It's not a thing. It's genders. It's not saying you're.
Okay, why is that? I don't understand. Why? Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, I won't ask you how old. I will ask you how old you are. Okay, because you're young enough that it's probably not insulting to ask you. So.
I'm 22.
Why aren't you 60? Why aren't you 60?
Because
What is the problem with you identifying as 60?
It's not the same as gender. You can't just.
You're right. Age is significantly less important than gender. You can't magically change your gender. You can't magically change your age.
She tried redefining reality, but Ben Shapiro flipped it on its head with the age question. Suddenly, gender is fluid sounds just as silly as identifying as 60 years old. That's the problem with woke arguments. They collapse the second someone refuses to play along with their fantasy. This is the classic woke playbook.
So my question is, if it's okay for you to call other people rude, I'd like to understand from your perspective why you don't believe it's rude and why you think you have a right to, when someone identifies a certain way, for you to tell them that that is not correct, that they are that particular gender or identity.
Why do I feel that it's right to tell them the truth?
But it's not the truth.
The people who hate the truth, people who hate the truth are because they see the truth as hateful. If you want to identify in any way you can, you're free to do so. But that does not mean that the rest of us have to join that illusion.
They demand you bow down to whatever label they throw out, then act shocked when someone calls it what it is. The man in pink shirt didn't even flinch. He reminded them that truth isn't hateful. It's just inconvenient for people living in make-believe. And the best part, he refused to sign up for their illusion. Here, nothing screams hire me like demanding a moment of silence for your own privilege before the interview even starts.
Hi everyone, I'm Ezra Frisch, they, them. I just want to take 5 seconds to acknowledge my white privilege. Just a moment of silence. I just want to make sure I'm working for an organization that aligns with my values. So you mentioned that you guys don't have plans for Black History Month?
I didn't say that we don't have plans. I said that
Just like the 6th of February already. And one Black inventor. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
This is not the structure of the interview.
I just want to know the team.
Okay. Asking the question as if you've been offered the job.
You can't name one Black inventor. You cannot name one Black inventor. This is a for-profit.
I think you need to do some reevaluating.
Are you laughing?
I asked politely now
Were you laughing?
that you leave.
Do you think this is funny?
This interview.
Yeah, don't hire woke people.
This guy treated a job application like open mic night for activist theater, quizzing the interviewer on inventors, interrupting mid-sentence, and acting like the role was already his. The punchline? He got escorted out faster than his ego could process, and the host nailed it. Don't hire woke people. Finally, Bill Burr could call it like it is and have a crowd howling.
The way white women somehow hijack the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzing this. The woke movement was supposed to be about people of color, and it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. My leg is so hard with my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's to be me. Trash and white guys. The nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity, And occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. That's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to?
He torched the way white women hijacked a movement meant for racial justice, sliding themselves to the front of the oppression line like it was a VIP club, complaining about heated seats and SUVs while lecturing everyone else. The punchline? He told them to sit down and take the talking too. Classic. And there you have it. Woke talking points met with reality checks they never saw coming. Whether it's job interviews, debates, or even comedy stages, these moments prove one thing. When you push hard enough with nonsense, eventually someone will push back harder.